Quitting your full-time job, becoming a freelancer, or starting your own small business is hard. H-A-R-D, hard. There are so many things to think about. You might need to set up a website, market yourself, source for quality material at a low price, network and make contacts, etc. Possibly one of the most nerve-wracking things you'll need to consider is how to survive on an irregular income. I was inspired to create this video after I received a question from @simplyjuk on Instagram, who commented on my video about what to do when you love your job but the pay sucks. As an entrepreneur who has launched several of my own small businesses, I can tell you that the reality is it takes quite a long time to get established when you start a freelance business. Your website isn't getting found because you're so new that Google doesn't know you exist. You struggle to figure out what to post on social media so that you don't sound spammy. Sometimes, even if potential clients do find you, they are unwilling to give you a chance because you haven't built up enough experience yet. Businesses who promises you that you can instantly earn tens or hundreds of thousands within a few months after starting out is total BS. To get through this difficult time, you'll need to come up with a plan and be well prepared. Here are 7 tips to help you prepare for surviving on an irregular income. Number 1, prepare before you go full-time as a freelancer. First, you need to plan how you will get through the beginning stages of your business where you might have no income coming in at all. My advice would be to freelance on the side of your day job for a while before you quit your job. This will allow you to build up contacts, testimonials, and clients to ensure that you're bringing in income right from the first month after you quit your job. Though it might be a little tiring and challenging, but I would recommend that you overlap the 2 jobs for a while before you quit your day job. Alternatively, you can build up sufficient savings for a few years or so before you take the leap into full-time freelancing or starting a small business. I recommend saving up enough to cover at least a year's living expenses. 6 months goes by so quickly. You'll barely be getting started after 6 months. Enough savings to cover a year will give you breathing space to work on your business without panicking that money is going to run out. Number 2, figure out what your basic living expenses are and cut out unnecessary expenses. To figure out how much money you will need to get you through the year, track your expenses for a couple of months and see what you're spending your money on. Identify your basic living expenses, essential expenses that you need to survive on. Your basic living expenses will probably be rent or mortgage, utilities such as heat, water and electricity, food, healthcare, internet access. Next, identify expenses that are not essential to your survival. These are things like your Netflix subscription and gym membership. You might have to sacrifice these expenses until your income increases. Some of your current expenses can be reduced or eliminated as they'll no longer be relevant once you start to work from home. You won't need to use public transport or your car as much. You can eat breakfast and lunch at home. If you drink coffee, consider investing in a coffee machine and making coffee at home. This will save you a ton of money. Although working from a coffee shop every now and then is a great way of getting you out of the house. In essence, find ways to save money in your private life. You also don't need to buy work clothes anymore. So, yay, pajamas! Joke. I definitely believe it's better for your productivity if you get dressed properly every day so that you'll be motivated to go into work mode. Number 3, create a budget. Okay, so you know what your basic living expenses are now, but you also need to know what your income is before you can create a budget. Of course, with a variable income, you don't really know how much you're going to earn, especially if you're a new freelancer. As such, you will have to dip into your savings for the first few months, unless you took my advice and freelanced on the side before you quit your full-time job. Once you have 3 to 6 months of running the business under your belt, you will get a better idea of your income. Start with your lowest income months as a baseline and allocate your expenses based on this amount. Number 4, set up your accounting/invoicing system. One of the most important parts of setting up a small business is figuring out how to get paid. If you don't have this part figured out, then your whole budget is going to fall apart. Here are some tips to follow to make sure that you will get paid and that your accounting system is in order. Open a separate bank account or savings account. This will make it easier for you to track your business income and expenses. Set up a payment system. You have several options here. You could sign up with FreshBooks and use it to create professional-looking invoices to send to your clients, accept credit cards and integrate it with your PayPal account, send reminders and apply late fees automatically, track your expenses and even track your time. Another well-known option is PayPal. A PayPal account is very easy to set up and use to send invoices and receive funds from your clients. Or you can create a custom invoice. If you're using a different payment method other than FreshBooks and PayPal, you might need to create a custom invoice. Make it clear what your payment terms are. To avoid any ambiguity, you should have a section detailing your payment terms on your website, in your contract, or that you inform your clients via email. This will ensure that your clients are aware from the outset when and by which method they will have to pay. Or you could hire a qualified accountant. You will have to pay taxes on your income. This is not something I enjoy because the forms always look so confusing. But whether I like it or not, taxes needs to be filed properly. If you're able to do it by yourself, then by all means, go ahead. But if not, then consider getting a professional to look at your taxes for you to make sure that you don't make any mistakes. Number 5, figure out what services you need to help grow and run your business. Aside from your basic living expenses, you will also have some essential business expenses that you will need to make to start and grow your business. First, identify which services are necessary to running your business. These might include your business website, your email address provider, software, hardware, or equipment, and so on. Anything that can improve and optimize your workflow. Consider if you can use a free version for some of these expenses, or is the paid version worth it? For example, I use the free version of Later to schedule my social media posts, as I find that they meet my needs for now. However, I pay for a video editor instead of editing my own videos because I feel that I can save a ton of time which I can use for marketing my business and counseling clients while my video editor does some magic. This was of course not always the case. When I started out my YouTube channel, I edited my own videos and I loved the process. Though it saved me a lot of money, it used up a big chunk of my time. So as you can see, nothing is set in stone. Do your best with what you've got now. Slowly optimize your business with time. Number 6, allocate a budget for entertainment. For the first 6 months after I started my counseling business, I must admit that I was very worried about money. I knew I had the savings to back me up, but I had spent years saving, so I didn't want to blow it all. What happened was I stopped spending money on enjoying myself almost completely. That's not what I would recommend doing. You will make yourself miserable. To stay sane while you're waiting for your business to take off, make sure you allow yourself some small splurges on entertainment. Whether it's going to the cinema with your partner, spending time with your friends, getting yourself a nice outfit, visiting a theme park, anything that will give you a positive boost of happiness and motivation to keep going. Here's a big question, which leads me to point number 7. What if you can't cover your expenses? Despite our best efforts, we might end up in a situation where our income just doesn't meet our expenses. In that case, you need to do something drastic to get money coming in quickly. You might need to get a part-time job in addition to your small business. You might not be too fond of doing this because it will leave you with lesser time to spend on growing your business. But it's really not all that bad though. Having enough money to cover your bills will mean that you're less panicked and stressed out, so the time you spend working on your business will be good quality. Alternatively, you could also start another side hustle. There are hundreds of ways you can bring in extra income nowadays. Check out my video on 5 good paying online jobs that you can try out if you haven't already. Having multiple streams of income is incredibly important when you're a freelancer with inconsistent income. The truth is that you could lose any of your clients at any time. Having another stream of income means that you won't be left with nothing. I hope this video has made you feel a bit more hopeful about surviving on an irregular income. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead and I look forward to seeing you in my next episode of Thrive with Trish.